Good afternoon. I'm with Caren Foster of the Prevention of Blindness Society, and it is an honor and wonderful to have a conversation with you. But perhaps, Karen, we can begin with you telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Terrific. Well, as you mentioned, I am with the Prevention of Blindness Society of Metropolitan Washington. I have now been here 8 years, um, and I am the CEO, and it's just such an honor to be able to work with so many wonderful people in our community for the betterment of our community. Um, and, uh, and and so I'm very grateful to have been kind of let into this life. And I always want to see what more we can do.
Hmm.
I live in Alexandria City. So, I'm really interested in what's going on with Alexandria. And I feel like the Lions is a great way to get to know my city a little bit better.
Oh, I was just going to ask you. I know that you recently joined the Lions Club, and I was going to ask you why. What is it about the Lions?
Yeah. So it's interesting. As part of my job, I am on the Virginia Lions International um, Foundation. And what we do is we provide funding for organizations and individuals impacted and serving people with low vision and blindness. And so I've been getting to know the Lions, from an arm's both close and from an arm's length away because I'm one of the few people who wasn't a Lion on this foundation. Um, and and it's a wonderful group of people. And they kept saying, you should join the Lions. You should join the Lions. And then I started volunteering with my local Lions in Alexandria, the Alexandria host group.
Hmm.
And they were just as wonderful as the people that I knew at the foundation. And so I kind of made it my New Year's resolution this year, although it took me till almost the end of the year, to join the Lions in 2025. And I'm so glad I did. I like everyone who's part of our group,
Hmm.
and I feel like we have the opportunity to serve, which is core to Lions.
Getting to kind of your core, what you do, um, tell us a little bit about eyes. Why is it important for people to get their eyes checked on a regular basis?
Yeah, eyes are important at every stage of our lives. So when we're young and learning things in school, 80% of what you learn comes through your eyes. So, a pair of glasses can mean the world to children, um, and really help them, be all they can be. And then as we get older, um, more and more things can go wrong with our eyes. There are things that are more serious than glasses, and those things, they don't hurt, they don't do anything except um, affect your vision, and so keeping in touch with an eye doctor throughout your age, they'll tell you how often you need to come, whether
Hmm.
it's every year, every other year, every few months, whatever. Just listen to them and keep going because things do develop. It's not like what you have when you were born is all that you're ever going to experience. There are things like glaucoma, macular degeneration, cataracts. These are not unusual things for people to have as they grow
Hmm.
throughout life, and that's why it's so helpful. First of all, glaucoma is a cluster of diseases. It's not one specific disease, but they all are grouped under glaucoma, and it impacts the optic nerve. And it begins when it's more advanced, it steals parts of the peripheral eyes, the peripheral vision. So, like right now, if I put my hands here, I can still see what's going on. But
Hmm.
someone with glaucoma, they're they wouldn't be able to see that. Their world
Their
is getting
field
narrower
narrows.
and
Yeah.
narrower. Um, and African Americans are 5 times more likely to be affected by glaucoma, and it starts at an earlier age. So the risk factors start at age 40
Wow.
for African Americans and age 60 for others. Um, because if you find glaucoma early, so many times it can be slowed or stalled. There's just so many treatments. Your eye
Mhm.
doctors, your optometrists, your ophthalmologists have a lot of tools that they can kind of throw at glaucoma.
Hmm.
If one thing doesn't work, well, then another thing will work.